Okay, so I'm gonna start. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Hello, everyone. This is Anatoly, founder of hotellab. It's a great pleasure seeing you all online today with us. I'm joining you from Lisbon. Hope it's not as hot on your side as it is right now in Portugal. And together with me today, we will also have Lukas, who is joining us from Prague. He's a revenue manager at Meet Me 23 Hotel.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Super. And also Paolo, he's a senior account manager at BeSafe Group, and he is greeting everyone from Rome, Italy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much. It's also will be a great pleasure to know where are you joining us from. So if you like, you can share also the city where you're from in chat. We will gladly also know a little bit more about our audience. And while everybody is joining us, today we're going to have a webinar about improving your ADR through implementation of revenue management systems, and also how insurance and protected rates can help you increase your website conversion and also gain additional revenue through your ADR. Our webinar will be quite short but productive. It will take about 40 to 50 minutes. So I hope you find it very useful for yourself. And if you like, we are always happy to get your feedback, to get any questions from you in the chat, because as more discussions, as more communications we will have, as more productive our webinar will be. So if there is any comments, we will be happy to hear it from you. Okay, yeah, I see some people. Just sorry, my chat is a little bit small, but yeah, great. I see there are people all over the Europe continent are here with us. That's great. So let's start step by step. Today, my part, I will start shortly, and I will talk about importance of revenue management strategies and why it's in general very important to have strategies in order to achieve the highest results. After that, we will gladly share a success case of one of our clients, Meet Me 23 Hotel in Prague, where we help them increase the revenue through the improvements of the ADR. And at the final stage, Paolo from BeSafe Group will share how you can support your revenue management strategies by implementing insurance and protected rates, and why it's important in overall journey for your revenue management developments. For those who just joined us, we are very happy to have you with us. Please feel free to share and ask any questions as we move on in the chat. We will gladly have a Q&A session at the end where we can have a little bit more discussion and communication. But let's start. So the first part, as mentioned, we'll speak about the importance of revenue management, about strategies in your revenue management journey. Briefly about us, hotellab. We are quite young but fast-growing company. We are already supporting over close to 300 hotels in 40 countries, and we help them optimize room revenue for quite a big amount of rooms. Briefly, how we work, we integrate market data. So we check competitor rates and flight searches. We also integrate, for some cases, the website analytics to see the demand of your website. And also we have a very deep integration of your sales data and your reservations in our system. And that helps us to create the forecasts for your occupancy, for your room revenue, for your prices, and also automate your prices, restrictions, group prices, and so on. And before I start speaking about the strategies and why it's important, I would love to get a little bit you involved. And can I ask you to have a look at this slide and tell me which strategy would you select if you will be the revenue manager of a 300-room hotel, for example, in Athens, and your hotel will also have additional services, like restaurants and so on. So, for example, if you have 4 scenarios which will help you achieve the same RevPAR, the revenue per available room, which scenario would you, for example, choose? Can you just write in chat the number one? Like, would you like to go more for higher ADR or for more occupancy? And if you like to also comment on it, that will be great. So let's see. So yeah, I see some people wrote 3, the third one. Any other people? So the third one. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, more a balanced one. Number 1. Okay. Number 3. So I guess, yeah, for now, like number 3 looks a little bit more top choice. Some people, yeah, go for 4. Guess, yeah, if you like to have a full house at your hotel. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Also a good point. If you choose a scenario to achieve revenue through lower occupancy, right, with a higher ADR, you might actually optimize your operational cost. Yeah. Okay. Super. That's great to know. But I think we all have a little bit different visions. Yeah, some people look for balance, some people look for high occupancy, some people look for optimizing costs through your ADR management. But you see, the main reason why I also show this case is that we actually don't know, right, which scenario will be best without having a strategy, right? So what is our strategy, right? Our strategy is, for example, optimize our costs this year, right? Or our strategy is to drive more occupancy, more guests, because maybe we are quite a young hotel and we actually want, have more guests because we know we can also convert them in our loyalty guests, for example, right? Or we want to keep the balance, having a high occupancy for additional sales, but we also don't want to run our hotels at full house because that might, have some impact on the room quality and so on. So the key point here is that it's really about the strategy that you are trying to achieve, right? And that's how you select which scenario to focus on, right? And usually, if you look just at the RevPAR, right, like maximizing the revenue, it's actually not enough, right? We need to look beyond it. We need to look at, okay, what will be our operational cost incomes? What will be additional sales incomes, right? What will be happening with our loyal guests, right? If we focus on the ADR, right? So there is a lot of other factors that we need to consider, right? And we definitely need to build a strategy around what we are trying to achieve. So this is a very good example, right? Why you actually need the strategy, because we believe that without having a strategy, you can't really control your results, right? That's the whole point. So you, as a hotel managers or as a team of hoteliers, you really need to understand, like, okay, if I have certain actions, am I using certain solutions, what I'm actually trying to achieve with it, right? Like, what is the reason behind it? And that's exactly why strategies become a very important part. And in general, we believe that now, as we live in the era of technology, it's very important that us managers, we actually trying to delegate, the tactical daily jobs to the technology, so we can become more strategic, right? So we can actually focus not on the actions, but on the goals, what we want to achieve, implementing certain actions. And that's overall the idea of our today's webinar and in general mission of our company and our partners, that if you have strategies, right, you achieve the highest results, and then you can select the right solutions to support your goals. And just briefly, in case somebody is new, it's just important also to understand what is actually tactical things, right? So basically, all the tactical things in regard to the revenue management are things like, managing your rates, gathering some reports, checking your reports with your competitors, checking your competitor rate prices, and so on. So basically, whatever you do on the daily routine in the revenue management, usually it's tactics, right? But whenever you actually sit down and make some goals, some strategies, that you become more like a strategic revenue management and revenue manager, and that's very important to understand. And basically, when you come to to the strategy level, it's very important that you go through this basics but vital points, like that you need an action plan and you need to understand who is responsible for this. It might be yourself or your team members, or it might be the solution, right? That you are delegating certain things, right? But this solution becomes responsible for your strategy and for the results that you want to achieve. It's always important to have the timelines of the implementation. We don't have magic sticks. The things happen, tomorrow. We really need to understand when we want to achieve certain results and how we will evaluate them, right? I know it's basic things, but sometimes, it's also important to remember the basics before, we become a little bit more advanced. And now I will give a couple of example of strategic approaches in the revenue management, like a very traditional and basic strategic approach can be becoming a market leader, right? Because we are all, I'm sure, experienced revenue manager, or we have, worked with revenue management before. We know that there are a lot of already solutions like benchmarking, right? STR or some other companies allowing us to track our revenue generation index. There are also guest satisfaction apps, so you can actually compare yourself with your reviews with your competitors and so on. So basically, you as a hoteliers, you can sit with your team and select certain strategies that we want to become a market leader, right? In order for us to become a market leader in 3 or 6 months time, we need to achieve, for example, this RGI, right? Or we need to achieve this guest satisfaction index, right? So we create all those goals, like we have an overall strategy becoming a market leader. We create certain goals and strategies and actions we need to achieve this result in certain timelines, right? And then we go, right? And then we look, okay, if we want to achieve a higher, for example, revenue generation index, we might need to become more active in retail segment, become more dynamic and increase. So then we have some solutions, some actions that can support our, for example, SGI goals and so on. So this is like a strategic management approach, right? And actually, while I was speaking about it, I said that becoming a market leader can be a big strategy, right? But you can also have certain goals, how you will achieve it in a timely manner. The other example, which we will also be covering today, is ADR-driven strategies, right? So you might have, for example, you're planning for the next season things, and the next season thing, you need to sit down and decide, what I want to achieve next season. Do I want to focus on the quality of my guest, right? So then I need to manage it through the ADR, right? And then I can create, implement open pricing, right? Meaning that all my room types will be independent, and I will try to maximize ADR through managing prices on each room type. Then I can integrate some upselling tools, right? Or like some insurance rates, as Paolo will be speaking today as well. Some marketing campaigns and so on. So basically, I have a strategy to increase my revenue through the ADR, right? And then I need a certain action plans, certain responsible people from my team or solutions I will use. Yes, plan the timelines and then evaluate results. That's one type of strategy. The other one can be the volume driven, right? So for example, I need to work with groups, I need to sit down, especially I'm a large hotel, I need to have a certain things for tour operators or for the groups, right? My sales managers need to have certain KPIs and so on. So that's another example of volume-driven strategy, right? If I decide, for example, for maybe in the Q3 and Q4, because I'm in city hotel and I have more opportunities for business in travelers during this period. Okay, so I am creating a strategy for the volume based on the volume, and I have certain action plans. And for example, my retail pricing should also adjust according to this strategy. And last but not least, for example, increasing revenues through your retail segment, that can be another strategy, so that you can for example, become a little bit more aggressive with your dynamic pricing. You can increase some some minimum rates, right, during the low season, right? So you can, for example, become a little bit cheaper, right? But you have a certain strategy why you allowing yourself to sell it a little bit cheaper price, because during this low season, right, you trying to get the volume for the retail strategy, because you also have a goal at the later stage, convert them into the loyal guests, something like that, right? There are plenty of examples, but the idea of whatever you're trying to achieve certain results, you really need to make sure there is an action plan, there's the timelines, responsible persons, and so on. And why we think it's very important nowadays for us to become more strategic, rather than sitting in the daily tactical jobs, and spending hours of time, because nowadays technology is really becoming a big part of our work, of our responsibilities, right? And the key thing here is that we don't need to be afraid of it, right? So there is a common, sense that like AI or technology is going to replace us managers. No, it's not really going to happen. But what's going to happen that managers or humans, as we can call them, right, with those who use AI, those who use technology, know how to be more strategic rather than spending hours on some daily routines. Are those people who are gonna show the best performance, right? At the end of the day, those revenue managers or those hoteliers who will be using, who will know how to use the technology, they will be just more strategic, yes, and they will be able to provide better results, for hospitality businesses, and that's, I think, very important to realize. And that's why we at hotellab, we pay a lot of attention in our developments to allow actually our revenue management system be very user-centric, right? So we are not a RMS that tells you how you need to work, with strategies. We actually allowing our users, to adjust the strategies as you go, according to your visions, right? So basically, RMS is taking away all your tactical things, right? But you are in charge of the strategy. So you control the system, right? And you tell the system, okay, I want to be a little bit more aggressive with my dynamic pricing for certain periods because I am trying to achieve this goal. Or in other periods, I don't want to have so much frequency and so much pricing elasticity in my retail prices because, for example, I am a little bit more active with other business mix like corporates and groups, right? And I don't want the RMS, to bring me some negative effects. And that's which we believe the RMS is built for, is actually to take away those tactical things and but leave you, in charge of the strategies. And that's why we recently introduced these seasonal calendars where you can actually manage your strategies, right? Like your algorithm strategies per each season. And one of the examples can be like if you're doing some special promos on your website, right? You can also, create a strategy that you will be a little bit more aggressive with the pricing, that the prices can go a little bit lower because it will assist your conversion, for example, on your website. So that's our vision, and basically our main goal outside of helping hotels increase the revenue is actually save a lot of time, right? Because we believe that time needs to be very respected, our own time, right? And that's also a very important part that RMS you need to actually make sure that RMS is working on full autopilot, right? The rates actually, getting updated without much of your involvement, right? So if you, and I'm not talking about our RMS, but if your RMS still needs to be controlled on a daily things, right? Like, so you still override prices, for example, right? Or you do some other things. It makes, it means that you're actually losing a lot of time, right? Which you could have spent on more strategic decisions, right? On a more goals, which at the end would help you to increase the revenue. And that's our main vision, that RMS is not here to take steal jobs of revenue managers or people, in charge of the revenue management, but actually, take away all the daily routines, all the tactical things, and allow, managers to become more strategic. And that's time we can come to Lukas, our partner. I think for already over 6 months since Lukas implemented our RMS. And I remember when we just spoke with Lukas before, he was using another revenue management system, and his main problem I remember was also that he still had to control and override rates very oftenly, and that was one of the things that he was kind of feeling, okay, I have the technology, but I'm still like, daily spending some time. And because we managed, to adjust our algorithm according to his strategies, we showed some good results, which Lukas now, you can share a little bit more about.
All right. Thank you, Anatoly. So my name is Lukas. I'm the revenue manager at the Meet Me 23 hotel in Prague, and I'm happy to share with you this case of study as we successfully integrated the revenue management system into our operation and how it's impact us. So Meet Me 23 is like a combination with a hostel and a hostel, and we are mainly offering like multiple bedrooms, and we are also always looking for like a new technologies how to improve our operations and guest experience. So the challenges we faced why we decided to change. So we struggled to utilize rate shopper data for pricing decisions. We manage inventory and OTA promotion. And we had like a problem with combining the rooms and dorms and that require a unique pricing approach. And as was mentioned, we have to constantly override the rates in previous RMS. So those are the solutions for us. We implement open pricing on room types and dorms and the rate plans, which includes non-ref rate. And we also receive like a dedicated account executive support from the such as adjustments. And we still on the rate update frequencies according to our specifics. And lastly, we apply like a user-driven adjustment for the strategies per seasons. That's very helpful. So these efforts brought us significant results. Like in the first half of 2024, we saw a revenue increase of approximately 48,000 euros, which was in our ADR was grew by 7%. We actually optimized 7 room types and 2 rate plans, improving our overall revenue management efficiency. Right. So in conclusion, the integrating hotellab into Meet Me 23 has been like a game changer for us. This allows us to leverage data-driven strategies to optimize our pricing, enhance guest experience, and ultimately boost our revenue. As a next step in enhancing our revenue strategies, we also implemented BeSafe, to help us with English booking conversation on our own website. More about this topic will be from Paolo. And that's actually more or less all for me. So if you have any question, I'm open to answer it.
Okay, super. Yeah, Lukas, thank you so much. If anyone has any questions to ask or Lukas, please feel free to share. And Lukas, it's a great pleasure that you managed, to find time and share your experience and the feedback. I know when as a revenue manager, you always have, now plan more strategies, right? More goals, certain actions to achieve the results that the owner, the GM want. And I know it's one of the first webinars where you participated, but thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please do feel free to share. We'll have a small Q&A session at the end as well. And now we can slowly move to Paolo, to you. And I will just add from my side that it was also a very interesting partnership. That while we don't have like a direct integration from our RMS, with the BeSafe rate, it's great that there are partners that can help, to continue the journey, right, of revenue managers, right, that taking a little bit different perspective. That sometimes your decisions of implementing some rate structure, some insurance rate structure, can actually help at the end of the day increase the ADR, right? So that's very interesting approach, and I'm very happy you also have something to share with us.
Yeah. Hi, everybody again, and thank you very much, Anatoly, for inviting me to this webinar. I would like to talk today about a new opportunity that the hoteliers can catch today, following the last trend of the last years. And especially after the COVID, the pandemic, the demand from the travelers for travel insurance has really increased a lot. If you can show the next slide, Anatoly, we can see the trend from 2021 and also the estimated trend until 2028, we can see that the travel insurance market will increase a lot also in the next years. It means that today the travelers are looking to be safe and in case of unforeseen events, because unfortunately we are living in not sure for some international issues that unfortunately today are present. And so everybody, when is approaching to book a stay, to book an accommodation for his holiday, would like to be safe in case something happens. Okay, and that's why the demand for travel insurance had increased a lot. Next slide, please. Not only because usually when we talk about travel insurance, everybody is thinking about something that is very complicated to purchase. Even in case we need to use the travel insurance, we have everybody's fear to receive the money back, to open a claim, and even the entire process is very complicated. While in the last year there is a new trend that is the embedded in travel insurance. It means an integrated insurance in a specific room rate. And this is something that BeSafe rate already is bringing to the travel market from 7 years, but also there are other companies that do this. But the main thing is that especially the new generations, like the Gen Z, the Gen X, the millennials, prefer to have and to book an integrated travel insurance rate because in this case they will have the travel insurance included in the room price. And it is estimated after different searches that the 65% of travelers would prefer to buy an embedded insurance comparing to the classic insurance model where you have to purchase separately from the stay, from the booking, the travel insurance. So you have to go to another website, to an external website of the insurance company. You have to fill a form. You have to pay an extra fee, of course, to purchase the travel insurance, while the last trend is to activate an integrated rate with an embedded insurance. Next slide, please. First of all, what does it mean embedded travel insurance? You can just create, as Lukas already did since a few months, a new rate plan in for your direct bookings. So I mean for your booking engine or even for your offline sales. So you can offer by quotation for all the booking inquiries you receive by email, phone calls, and all your direct channels. And you can offer a new rate that includes a travel insurance, okay, that is included in the room price. And it means that you can have a guaranteed cash flow because BeSafe rate as well as any other embedded insurance rate are prepaid rates. Okay, it means that as well as any non-refundable rate, you can cash in advance the full total amount, and it is guaranteed. Because thanks to the travel insurance, in case the guest needs to cancel the booking for any unforeseen event, the insurance company will provide the refund of the prepaid amount, while the hotel can keep the money and can reopen the availability one more time and make a double revenue for the same room. So it's a very good revenue opportunity. Second, the benefit would be lower OTA commissions, because offering a rate with insurance included can attract more users, more potential guests to book directly through the booking engine or offline, and so save the OTA commissions. Okay, so redirect the bookings from the OTAs to direct bookings, and also, of course, satisfy the travelers' needs, because as we said before, it is high demanded in the last years to have this travel insurance, and offer it for whom decide to book directly is something you can meet the travelers' needs and offer a very good service to your direct guests. The next slide, we can see also the difference, the main difference between the embedded insurance model comparing to the classic, let's say, insurance model that you can buy like an extra, like an add-on. First of all, the embedded insurance means that the customer, the potential customer, can see immediately. So before decide to book your hotel, before decide to book through your booking engine, that there is an offer that includes a travel insurance. While with the second model, with the insurance as an add-on, as an extra, the customer has already decided to book your hotel and just can find the option to add or not a travel insurance at the second step. So it is like a marketing tool, a sales opportunity to attract the guests to book your hotel and to book through your direct channels. Second, since the insurance is included in the room rate, in the price, there's no extra cost to the guest. Okay. While, of course, the insurance bought in extra, there is an extra cost that the guest has to pay for the travel insurance. And third, it is a customized offer, and it is something that the hotelier can manage included in the revenue strategy. As Anatoly said, BeSafe rate can be completely absorbed and included in the revenue strategy managed through an RMS, for example, and can follow the parameters and everything you set it up with your revenue strategy. So it's something you can manage. For example, you can push for certain periods of the year, or for high season or for low season. You can manage it in the best way you think it could help your strategy and your revenue. While the insurance as an extra, I repeat, is just an extra service with a fixed amount that the guest can choose or not. It's just an option. In the next slide, please. We can see also how does it work. I'm showing you this screenshot regarding the Meet Me 23 in Prague, so the hotel by Lukas, that just a few months ago decided to activate BeSafe rate. As you can see, it is just a separate rate plan, which includes the travel insurance. And about the terms and conditions, as I said, they are the same of the non-refundable. Okay, so BeSafe rate for the hotelier point of view is another non-refundable and prepaid rate. But there is, of course, the added value provided by the insurance. And in case of booking cancellation, for example, the guest is guaranteed to have the money back from the insurance and not from the hotel. The hotel just keeps the money, don't have to manage the claim, and whatever happens, the hotel can resell and reopen the availability. Can be just set up a new rate accordingly to, of course, the material provided with a correct rate description and whatever. The rate can be published on the hotel's booking engine, but as I said, can be also offered through the CRM or for the offline. In case of booking cancellation, as I said, the hotel keeps the money already cashed at the booking time, and the insurance takes care of the claim and of the refund. As I said also before, each hotel can apply a different strategy accordingly to the general revenue strategy. And of course, if you are using our
I think we lost Paolo for a second. Is it only me, or Lukas? He also can't hear Paolo. Yes.
No, I can't hear him.
Okay. I think maybe something. Yeah, I see. Same. Yeah, let's wait for him to come back. Yeah, I think he's just refreshing the page. Let me maybe see. I will just quickly refresh. Sorry for this small technical thing. But while we're waiting for Paolo to come back, I will just add here from Think. Okay.
Yeah. Could you hear me?
Yes. Now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Could you go ahead with the slide, please, Anatoly? Okay, great. So this is a real example of how you can benefit from BeSafe rate and save the OTA's commission. So let's imagine a scenario when you are offering a non-refundable rate on the OTAs, Booking.com, Expedia, etc., and BeSafe rate, so no refundable rate, but with insurance included, on your website, okay, at the same price. So usually the OTAs asking on average, from what I know, 18% fee, while we can say the average fee BeSafe rate is a 5%. It means that is a 13% less than the OTAs. It means that if you drive with BeSafe rate a guest to book BeSafe rate on your website instead of book a no refundable rate on an OTA, you can save, of course, the 13% off. Because in case of, let's say, 1,000 euros booking, the net profit for you in case of booking with a no refundable rate on OTA would be 820 euros, because you have to remove the 18% commission. While with BeSafe rate, your net profit would be 950 euros. It means, because there is the 5% commission, it means that comparing at the same price, you can earn 130 euros. Okay, so you can just set BeSafe rate with, for example, just an idea, at the same price of your no refundable rate on the OTAs. And at the same price, if, for example, me would go first on OTA and see the no refundable rate, and then go on the website and see that there is a BeSafe rate with travel insurance included, I for sure would prefer to book BeSafe rate at the same price. Okay. So I will have an extra service for me, and the hotel can have the money guaranteed and can save the OTA's commission. Okay, so it's just a real opportunity to increase the direct bookings and at the same time to save the commissions, and so save the cost, of course. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just a last recap in a nutshell. So, which are the benefits for the hoteliers and for the guests of activating a solution like BeSafe rate? For the hoteliers, as I said, an increase in prepaid bookings and also increasing booking window, because it is very important, because especially in the last 2 years, the booking window had really decreased. Especially, I'm thinking about the big cities. Yeah, when usually before the pandemic, the people were usually booked with a very high booking window. And also the early bookings are always good for the hoteliers, because you can have a higher occupancy in advance. You can have a better strategy for last minute bookings. And with BeSafe rate, our partners studied again to generate bookings in advance, because of course the people that books with BeSafe rate feel safe, feel comfortable to pay the money in advance, because there is the travel insurance, comparing to the no refundable rate that doesn't offer any guarantee of refund in case of booking cancellation. An increase in offers and increase of direct bookings, so disintermediation. And also, most important thing, hoteliers don't have to do nothing manually. They don't need to handle the claims, because we do. So the entire flow after the booking is managed by BeSafe rate. So there's no manual operation you have to do, because we are also integrated with the most management systems used in the world. And also, in case the guest needs to be refunded in case of booking cancellation, BeSafe rate takes care of the entire flow. The benefits for the guests are clear, pretty clear, because there is the travel insurance itself that is the main added value. But also there is a dedicated customer support during all the phases from the booking date. There is an online guest area where the guest can consult the terms and conditions of the insurance policy, and can communicate us the useful informations, and can open a claim directly from the online guest area. And last but not least, with BeSafe rate, they have the guarantee to have the money back also in a short period, because we guarantee the refund within 7 days. So in less than a week, the guest can have the money back and maybe reinvest that amount for a new stay. So I think it's a very good opportunity to catch, and each hotel can apply a different strategy and can use BeSafe rate, as I said, embedded in the general revenue strategy. And I'm positive that BeSafe rate it's an extra opportunity to reach the revenue goals that each company has. Great. My presentation is over. I don't know if there's any question or doubts about what I just.
Super. Yes, Paolo, thank you so much. If you have any questions, it's now time to ask them in the chat. So we will gladly answer any of them or any feedbacks. But also, I will just add one more thing from my side, that when I was a revenue manager, when I was starting my career in hotels, whenever I was trying to be a little bit strategic, right, and creating some actions, most of the time I had the opportunity to only make those actions around the business mix or the segments, right? And in hotels here, like OTAs, direct bookings, corporates, and so on. But nowadays, because we live more in a digital era, right? Plus, we actually have way more analytics, data-driven solution, and so on. I strongly believe, and with my team, that as a revenue manager or as part of a revenue management strategies, we can now treat not only business mix but the audience, right? The age, the sources where they find us, and so on. So really, like, the marketing approach becomes way more crucial for the revenue manager strategies, right? Because it's kind of outdated to focus only on your business mix, because there is so many things hidden online, right, which we don't know yet, and we need to analyze. And if we are still treating things like website, OTAs, and corporates, tour operators, it's just limits us, right? Because it's not giving us enough understanding of what's happening around our hotel, right? And especially now, as we live, in the era of uncertainty, we don't know what challenge is going to be next year, because clearly, like, current challenge that all the costs are increasing, right? So everything becomes very expensive, and this hotelier, we definitely need to pay more attention to our ADR, right? Because if you want to think about the occupancy at the end of the day, we might not be profitable, right? So there is a clear challenge, hoteliers in Europe, for example, have right now, but we don't know what the challenge is going to be next year, right? And obviously we need, to be more prepared to it. And that's why it's also, sometimes important to remember about, the basic things like being strategic, creating goals, creating actions, but also making sure that you are not spending too much time with your daily routines, and you have technology use that will leave you a lot of time to actually try things like, BeSafe rate. So basically, like in case of Lukas, that he managed, to let our system to help, automate pricing more oftenly. So he had an opportunity to create a project, of implementing BeSafe rate, which helped now to increase the ADR. I think, Paolo, there is a question in chat. So from yes, I will just read it, or maybe you can comment on it as well.
Yes, there is a question from Antea. So from time of making the booking, the BeSafe takes control of payments? No, actually you can, the hotel directly collects the payment from the guest, as well as you already do with a no refundable rate. So you collect the full total amount from the final guest. And after that, we just issue the service, and we send the guest all the documentation and the access to the online guest area. So you can collect the money at the booking time.
Okay, super. Antia, hope it answered your question, but if you have anything to add, yeah, great, perfect. If anyone has more questions, we will gladly answer them now. For those, if you don't have any question, we were very happy, to have you with us today, and thanks that you find time to join our webinar. I hope you share our vision that nowadays we need to be a little bit more strategic and spend time on our goals and strategies, rather than being stuck with daily routines and not freeing time for some new things, because I think that will help us to become a bit more sustainable. Paolo, one more question. Super. Yes, to you.
Yeah, is that correct? So at the end of the month, you will receive a classic commission invoice of course, only for the BeSafe fridge bookings generated.
Okay, super. But all the contacts, yes, will be also shared. So I'm sure if you have more, you can always get in touch with BeSafe group. Yes, so they are now our close partners, and we definitely carry on developing new things. And you never know where this partnership will take us from. Maybe we will start analyzing more data at later stage as well. I think we will be wrapping up. If oh no, there is more question. Super.
Another
Sorry.
question. If there is a booking paid at the property, how BeSafe works in terms of payment? No, I don't know if I correctly understood the question. Since BeSafe is a prepaid booking, the prepaid rate, you collect the full total amount at the booking time. So the guest makes the booking as well as a non-refundable rate, and you collect immediately the full total amount. In case of booking cancellation, of course, the guest can open a claim. The guest can cancel also the arrival date. So the cancellation can be made up to check-in date, and we take care of the claim. And if the claim is accepted, we provide the guest the refund. I don't know if I answered to your question. If not, please write again. There is another question. What happens if the guest proceeds to a dispute or transaction to his bank, if the reservation is a non-refundable one? As I said, of course, the hotel collects the money directly from the guest. So, of course, we don't know which method you usually use to collect the money. If you are using a payment gateway, you should be protected in case of a dispute of the transaction through the bank. But beyond that, since the guest booked up a rate with insurance included, and there is the insurance that provides the refund, it makes no sense to make a dispute of the transaction to the bank. So it's something. BeSafe rating is also a tool that can avoid the dispute of the transaction, because if you have an insurance that provides you the refund for any valid reason of cancellation, first of all, of course, they try to have the refund from, in this case, from BeSafe. It doesn't make any sense to make a dispute if you have a rate that guarantees you a booking cancellation. But beyond that, yes, if you are using an e-commerce or a payment gateway today with the PSD2, that is the new law, European law that manage the online payment transaction, you should be already protected in case of dispute.
Okay, great. Any more questions? I see that's very interesting topic for everybody, and to get a little bit more understanding how it technically works is very, very important. Okay. Well, if there is no more question, once again, thank you so much for your time. Also, Lukas, Paolo, very much appreciated as well that you supported our webinar today. Just for those who hasn't subscribed to our LinkedIn page, we'll be very happy if you do so, because especially in this field of revenue management, we really trying to provide as much useful information as possible, because to achieve the highest results nowadays, I think it's really important that you have a certain revenue management culture at your hotel, right? Which usually involves like technology, people, and processes, right? So there are a lot of things that needs to be done in order to achieve highest revenue results, right? Or results according to your visions, because sometimes revenue management can help you not just increase the revenue or the ADR, but it can actually help you to increase your profitability, right? Because it's management, right? So it's not just revenue increasing, it's revenue management. So it can really help you also to become more profitable or to become more sustainable. For example, if you focus a little bit more on a quality of your guests, that the money they spend rather than on the volume. So I will also share a LinkedIn page here in the chat if you like to subscribe. And all the presentations and the recording will be shared with you later on, and I really hope that you will also share it with your team members or any other colleagues of yours, because I think nowadays in our industry it's very important that we become more strategic, become more focusing on sustainability, on the technology, rather than doing things like we were doing long time ago, right? So it's time that everything changes in our world, and definitely our approach should adjust it as well. So once again, thank you so much. Pleasure being online here with you, and hope to see you on our next webinars. Paolo, Lukas, thank you so much as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.